Well, that little group of us, I actually hired Ron at LucasArts and was there when he brought on Dave Grossman and Tim Schafer. And, it was a very tight-knit group, particularly talking about that stuff. David Fox was one of the earliest experimenters in that, too. And what would happen is that we would talk about what made up a puzzle. We would analyze it. We published a lot of stuff in those early days, interviews and articles, because it was all wonderful and fresh and new. Nobody really had the technology to even tackle that before. And we often were fueled by things, we would see what our competitors had done and want to improve on that and just want to top what we'd done ourselves. Puzzles in particular, they're a very strange beast that in coming up with learning about game design and trying to apply rules and figure out structures, one of the reasons I realized why adventure games kind of ran into a brick wall is that they are almost alone among all game genres in that they don't have any easy way to become gradually more complex and difficult as you go on. If you make a puzzle more complex, it doesn't necessarily make it more fun. It just sometimes means that people get stuck and can't progress anywhere. And conversely, if you give hints, it certainly makes the puzzle easier, but it's no fun to be stuck and then have the game tell you, oh, have you tried X? It's like, well, yeah, but now, so what? Now I know the answer to the puzzle. And it was a real art in creating that aha moment of leading the player to it. And the real magic of it all is when you have very carefully made it part of the game system so that as the player struggles more and more, the game gets gradually more obvious as to what the answer is. But you want the player to feel that they've been the brilliant one who figured it out and not realize that, behind the curtain, you've been making it easier and easier for them. And that's one of the toughest tricks, but one of the reasons why it's been so tough, but also why it's a very satisfying form to work in. And those of us that did that, I think, never lose our love for that kind of style of game design. Certainly also makes for some of the most entertaining brainstorming sessions I've ever had. That, in fact, the Day of the Tentacle, very early brainstorming, was one of the points in my career I remember as laughing the hardest I ever have as part of my every day-to-day job.